Alright, what's going on YouTube? I'm going to go ahead and profile this. This is a Crystal Beast deck. I've built this deck several times. I've gone ahead and sold the deck before, but I'm going to go ahead and profile this since Raw Yellow Mega Peg went ahead and re-released the cards so I could rebuild this deck. Alright, we are going to start off with 3 Sapphire Pegasus. What this card does, when it's summoned, you get to select a Crystal Beast from your deck and place in your spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. And that's basically how all the Crystal Beasts work. When any of them get destroyed, they go down to your spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. So we got those. We got 3 Topaz Tigers. We got 3 Amber Mammoth. We have 2 Carbuncle. And that's actually it for the Crystal Beasts that I'm actually running in the deck. For non-Crystal Beasts, we have 2 Summoner Monks. We have 2 Dragon Queens. We have 1 Hamon, Lord of Striking Thunder. And then we also have this pretty little baby, which happens to be Thunder King Yugioh. Honestly, I would like to run more than one, but you take what life gives you. Okay, for spells, we are running 3 Crystal Blessings, and the reason for this is I do run 2 rare values, and these Dragon Queens can actually eat up your spell and trap zone. Actually, I'm going to go back over that. This right here, Dragon Queen of Tragic Endings. It's a 1900 attack, 2600 defense, Dragon, Dark. It can only be special summoned, or it cannot be normal summon or set. It can only be special summoned if you control 3 or more continuous spells on your side of the field. If it inflicts damage to your battle or to your opponent's life points, they have to discard a card and you get a draw card. It's pretty beast. And plus the 2600 defense helps against certain cards that I'm not going to go into detail about right now. And let's see here. Summoner Monk. You get a special summon to level 4 by pitching a spell. Guess what? Crystal Beasts run a lot of spells. Ruby Carbuncle. When it gets special summoned, you can special summon as many Crystal Beasts as you can from your spell and trap zone. Amber Mammoth is a 1700 beat stick. That's pretty much the only reason I run him. He's also level 4. And if one of your Crystal Beasts is selected for an attack, you can go ahead and redirect the attack to it. It's pretty cool. And Topaz Tiger gets a 400 attack boost when it attacks. Now, like I said, all these Crystal Beasts, when they get destroyed, whether it's a card effect or whatnot, you can go ahead and place them in your spell and trap zone instead of them going to the graveyard. And if your opponent's running Macrocosmos, the ruling right now is that if a Crystal Beast is treated as a continuous spell while on the field and it gets sent to the graveyard, Macrocosmos won't affect it. And then we have Hamon. Hamon can be special summoned by tributing 3 continuous spells on your side of the field. It's a 4000 attack, 4000 defense, and it's got also some other effects here. It says when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you inflict 1000 damage to your opponent. And while it's in face-up defense position, your opponent cannot select anything else as an attack target. And of course, everybody knows Yugioh. You can go ahead and tribute it to negate a special summon. And while it's on the field, neither player can add cards to their hand, except by drawing. Which is exactly what Crystal Beasts do. So we have the 3 blessings. Crystal Blessing allows you to take Crystal Beasts that are in your graveyard and place them back into your spell and trap zone. Crystal Beacon, 3. Special summon 1 Crystal Beast monster from your deck, but you have to have 2 or more Crystal Beast cards in your spell and trap zone to be able to activate this effect and resolve it. And 1 Crystal Promise. This allows you to take a Crystal Beast that's in your spell and trap zone and special summon it. Rare value. If you control 2 continuous spells, they're both Crystal Beasts. You get to have your opponent select one of them to send to the graveyard, and then you get to draw 2 cards. Crystal Tree. This is pretty much like it's pretty much like a gateway for Crystal Beasts. Whenever you summon a Crystal Beast, or when a Crystal Beast is monster is placed in the spell and trap zone, it gets a crystal counter, and then you can send this to place Crystal Beasts into your spell and trap zone equal to the number of counters it has. So it's great for deck thinning. We got 2 crystal releases. When these are sent to the graveyard, you get to select a Crystal Beast and place it in your spell and trap zone. This particular is an equip card that increases your monster by 800 points as well. Crystal Abundance. If you have 4 continuous spells that are all Crystal Beasts, they're in your spell and trap zone, you can activate this to send all 4, and then you send everything on the field to the graveyard. It doesn't destroy, it sends to the graveyard. So it gets around Stardust. And then you get a special summon Crystal Beasts from your graveyard equal to the number of cards that you sent from your opponent's side of the field. So if your opponent had 5 cards on their side of the field, guess what? It's OTK right away. And it's really hard to come back from. We got 2 Rainbow Ruins. This actually gets a bunch of different effects. We got the first one, which is if you control one or more Crystal Beasts in your spell and trap zone, it cannot be destroyed. If you control 2 or more, you can halve the battle damage from 1 attack. If you control 3 or more, you can negate spells and traps by sending Crystal Beast monsters from your side of the field. If you control 4 or more, once per turn, you can draw an extra card. And then the 5th one is if you control, or you can go ahead and special summon 1 Crystal Beast monster from your spell and trap zone. Now, you remember Ruby Carbuncle. This move is known as the Ruby Rush. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate this right here, right now. You got these. Sitting in your spell and trap zone. And you got Rainbow Ruins sitting up here. Trying to show that. Okay, this is known as the Ruby Rush. Remember Ruby Carbuncle? When it gets special summoned, you can special summon as many Crystal Beasts from your spell and trap zone as possible. Well, you're going to special summon Crystal Beast Ruby Carbuncle. Carbuncle's effect is now going to pop. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 extra summons, and then with the Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus, you can pull more from your deck, hand, or graveyard, by the way. It doesn't necessarily have to be from the deck. You can select ones from your graveyard or hand to also place in the spell and trap zone. So yeah, this deck really does flow pretty well, but we still have some other cards to go through. Terraforming. The reason I decided to run 1 Terraforming, 2 Rainbow Ruins over 3 Rainbow Ruins is because I like the deck thinning strategy, and it's actually a pretty good balance. Monster Reborn, pretty much a staple. United We Stand, I might actually replace this with a Dark Hole, but right now United We Stand is working pretty well because the Crystal Beasts do have the ability to swarm the field, and then United We Stand just creates ungodly beasts. Normally I do run 2 Needle Ceilings, and why I like this card over Torrential Tribute is because this one is actually chainable. It says if there's 4 more monsters on the field, which happens all the time now in the game, you can destroy all face-up monsters on the field. It's a great, great card. Right now I only have 1 copy, so I do need another one. But right now, in the meantime, I am running Compulsory Evacuation Device, which is a pretty god card in this game right now. I have 1 Transmigration Prophecy. I do kind of prefer this over DD Crow, and the reason for this is DD Crow removes them from the game, and to be honest, removing cards from the game isn't really that good anymore, because there's so many ways to get them back, especially with like Dimensional Alchemist, things like that. The Transmigration Prophecy, what it'll do is it'll allow you to go ahead and return 2 cards in either player's graveyard back to the deck. So if your opponent decides to go Hornet, guess what? Transmigration Prophecy is going to go ahead and stop his loop. And then I have 2 tech cards here. They're both the same, so no worries. 2 Beast Soul Swap. Now, Beast Soul Swap is one of those cards where it's like, it was extremely overlooked. And this is, the reason I select this as my tech is because it helps get around Bottomless. It helps get around enemy controller, mind control, things like that. Basically by removing the target from the field and then special summoning it right back to the field. Now, if you remember, we got Pegasus here. When Pegasus gets special summoned, guess what? You get another Crystal Beast right back in your spell and trap zone. So you can go ahead and use this to help your engine out as well. Alright, I hope this has been informative and fun. And yeah, please like, rate, subscribe. And if there's any suggestions that you would make for this deck, let me know. My primary reason for not running this as the Rainbow Dragon build is because Rainbow Dragon is way too slow. This build is meant to be fast. It is meant to be swarming. It is meant to fill up the field as fast as it can. And I think the only 2 decks that can fill the field faster right now are Chaos Dragons and 6 Sams. But alright, we're sitting on almost 12 minutes here, so I'm going to have to let you guys go, and stay cool.